Hey y'all, I just came on here to say hi. Everyone's probably asleep, but what is today? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Y'all, it's been a day. Hey y'all, how is everybody? Hey Julie, hey Pepperidge, hey Carmen, hey Geoff, hey Danielle, hey Lisa, hey Lori. How is everybody? Hey Interest, hey Jennifer, hey Copper, hey Leanne. Wow, so many of y'all. I didn't expect anyone to be on here because I'm like, it's late. Hey from Myrtle Beach. Hey Jay. Hey Judith. Man, I've been I wanted to post, but I'm just like, I don't know. You're plowing? Where are you? It's snowing? Hey from Sydney. Oh, it's 10:07 here. Hey. Hey Trisha. Hey Pam. Hey from Toronto. Not a roast panel. That would probably be fun. Yo, we probably do need to do a roast panel. Wow, Chips's new mama. I know, everything just seems so like hectic. It's like I'm at home, I'm fine, my kids are good, but I just feel just heavy. Oh, Injustice and I would, because Injustice is actually funny, really funny. I could see a roast panel with Injustice. He's funny as hell. Yeah, everything just feels like, I don't know, weird. And at first I was like, oh, you know what? Like you go to sleep, you'll wake up, you'll feel better. And then I'm like, I keep saying that to myself and I'm not feeling it. I know I'm laughing. I'm just being honest. It just seems like it's been like weird. Yeah, I saw You know what I did? Someone else had texted me about the plane. It's a full moon. That makes even more sense as to why I've been feeling like I don't know. It feels like I don't even know how to explain it. And I also don't want to come on here and share like make you guys like all down and out. I don't want that for you guys. I want us to have like a good time. I don't want y'all to be watching this like, oh. I just don't like to put that on to you guys. Oh, I just got them done today. It's been in the 70s. It's like 50s today. Thank you, Amberly. It's been thank you, Pam. Yeah, like something just feels off. And I don't want to be on here sounding like I don't know. I just don't want you guys to like have bad energy because I started like being all over the place. So it's not 11:11 here yet. It's 10:11. I wish it was 11:11 because I certainly would make a wish. Yeah, I just feel like even like my neck and my shoulders feel like super tight. Um And at first, I just thought maybe I was like overthinking everything, you know? But I'm like, no, it just feels off, you know? It's just off. You know what though? I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. You know what I really need? We really need Cat Williams to come out. I just need like Cat Williams. Can you come out here with a sermon? Like we need to know. Like please let us know. We need Cat Williams to speak. Like front and center right now, Cat Williams just come to the podium. Like we need you to come to the podium. Wait, when was that? Hey, every time. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Keefe D, the guy that is got charged with Pac's unaliving, he has court in March, right? I have a question for y'all. He said that he was paid by Diddy, right? I don't see a reason why he would lie. Because either way, he's going to go away, right? Either way, he's going to go away. Thank you. I love you guys too. I feel like what he is saying is true. Oh, I love you guys too. I really appreciate that. Right, there's no reason. Do you think before or after his trial there would there'll be charges brought against Diddy? He said that Diddy paid uh him to have Pac unalived. Not Pepperidge Farms. Your name makes me want to have cookies. No, for real though. I like the what is it? The chess ones? No, there's absolutely no benefit for him to lie. I feel like what he's saying is very true. I'm on the fence if Diddy will get out. Not because I think he's innocent. I don't. I think he is 100% guilty in my opinion. But the reason why I say this is I don't know if you guys remember Media Takeout had posted a recording of Diddy's federal hearing. And I feel like Diddy had someone go into the court and record it. And that for him to say, oh, look, I'm not getting a fair trial. Like, this is just so corrupt. Um, you know what I'm saying? So I feel as though he's throwing everything out there to see like how he could say mistrial or I didn't get a fair trial. And here, let's be honest. At this point, it's almost impossible for him to get a fair trial, right? Like I think we could all probably agree to that. Yes, Copper. He is grabbing at hairs at this point. And here's the thing, we know that he does not want to lose control. Idaho 4 case is just wild. You know what? Some of these cases are just like a lot. I don't did you guys ever did you see the girl Trinity that allegedly unalived her boyfriend's son? He's like a baby. I don't think he will get a fair trial, but I think they could grant him a clemency. Um and I'm still but I think he needs some to be somewhat supervised. Like if they give him that, like that should be like the stipulations. Yeah, so I've been actually following that Trinity case, the pageant girl that had her boyfriend's a little baby, cutest little baby ever too. Like it's heartbreaking, honestly. Yeah, like what is wrong with people these days? Like, and I feel like every time I say what is wrong with people, then something else major happens where I'm like, what is really wrong with people? I don't know. Things just seem to be like super wonky and weird. No, I don't think he will get an appeal. I just think like a clemency or a, uh, honestly, an appeal at this point. First of all, I'll be honest with you. I think if he had an appeal, Gypsy would do everything to throw a monkey bar in the situation. I think a clemency would probably be the best option because she's just so, I don't know. Something about her is very dark and devious. Like, sometimes people could do evil things and then but you see pictures of them or a video and they don't look dark. I feel like she looks dark. As in I'm a very like intuitive person and I generally can read people very very well. And something is just, yes, she does have soulless eyes. She does. She does. But just something about her just seems very, I don't know. I really don't. It's her eyes, but it's also like it's like she has like a spirit about her that is her aura. That is exactly what it is, honey. Like she has like this bad aura about her. You know what? I was watching half of it and I dozed off last night. When I get off of here, I'm actually going to watch it. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, she just has like a very bad aura. And so this could be taken in different ways. So like just take this exclusively for her and like people similar to her. Um I don't know if you guys remember that live that she did with Brie and she said that she's never been good at making friends or like keeping friends or something to that effect. I think that should say a lot. And every friend that she's had, she's screwed over. And I think that tells you a lot about who she is as a person. Does that make sense? Because I know for me, um, all of my friendships that I've had, and even like new friendships, like they've they're consistent friendships, right? Like my friends that I've had for like years, they are they have been very long-term friends. Like I don't there's only one friend that I ever cut off. Like that was actually my friend that I cut off. And I gave her so many chances and there was so many like messed up things that she did that the last time was like the final straw for me to be like, okay, you know what? I'm done. And even still, like, she used to like comment on some of my videos on Instagram because I didn't realize that I had her still on Instagram. But it had been like some time after that. So I was just like, okay, whatever. But I don't like have friendships that I don't like connect. She doesn't connect with people. I think that's what it is. Oh, so she ended up when at the time when we were doing our show, my friend was laid off. She ended up getting another job and she's been super super busy. So it's been but we've spoken about doing some more videos. So we will soon. Yeah, boundaries. Hey Brandy, thanks for joining. I do feel like boundaries are really important, especially in friendships and like just being like upfront and intentional about how you are, who you are. And I feel like I'm a pretty uh upfront person and direct person. Like people what you see is what you get. Like it's not like people that know me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a pretty transparent person. So it's not hard for you to know the things that bother me, if that makes sense. Phaedra, I will make sure I tell her that I actually was just texting her yesterday. Her and I will. We might not be able to do something every week like we were doing before, but maybe every 2 weeks. I'm gonna get with her. So you know what? I don't know that much about Ash Trevino, and every time I see something about her, I kind of scroll on because I feel like it's probably like so much going on with it. Thank you, Mighty Mulatto. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do a spin the block about that. I will. You know, I know how I could definitely be petty. You know what? Back in the day, when my ex-husband and I uh he used to go back and forth with me. Like he's petty. Okay, so I'm a Taurus and my daughter's father is a Taurus too. And but he is like a Taurus on steroids. And I'm a Taurus, but okay, so Taurus are generally like very stubborn. Like we really don't change our minds very much. Like if we say like this is how we feel, like we're just very like stable in how we feel, right? But he I will kind of like bend if I care. He's kind of like this is what it is, right? So like he's petty, but he's petty like petty. Like when I say petty, I mean petty. Like one time, I don't even remember what it was that my daughter told me, but she told me something and I had mentioned it to him, but I mentioned it to him to be petty so that he knew I knew. And you know what he wrote back in the email? He said, pot, meat, uh, he was like, pot, meat, kettle. Like I was so like when I tell you he used to aggravate the hell out of me. Now we're like I feel like things are like better now. Um He's not like as petty as he was like when she was younger, but ooh, child. I was like, who let us be the adults? Like, we can't be the adults. Who left us in charge? We should not be in charge. What is happening? Somebody get the moms. It was bad. It's funny now when I look back at it. I was like, "Ooh, child, we was petty." Like we would go back and forth like via uh like email and stuff. It was just a mess. Like it was a hot ghetto mess. I think Gypsy knows like her influencer days will like never actually happen. Yes, I actually sent you an email about it. Did you respond to the email? I didn't want to post your picture without permission. Oh man, the banter. Listen, if anyone had access to like our older emails, I remember one time. Okay, so my daughter used to love Elsa from Frozen. I mean, one Halloween, she was Elsa, and I really thought it was the funniest thing in the world because, you know, the Elsa costume came with the like the blonde wig and stuff. And considering my daughter's black, it just looks so funny to me, like with her in the Elsa costume. And it was so funny because she was so in love with Elsa, right? And I remember like her friend wanted to play Frozen one day, and what was okay, there was the snowman, there's Elsa, and what's the other friend? Okay, so it was three of them. And my daughter told her friend she should be the snowman. And she played the snowman, right? So later that evening I asked her, I said, why'd you want Sam to play the snowman? Of Olaf, yes. I was like, of all things, why did you want Sam to play Olaf? Like, why? She was like, because she's white. I just looked at her and I was like, what? Girl, what? Don't do Sam like that. Don't do Sam like that. I love Sam. Don't do Sam like that. I was like, don't do that to Sam. Oh, she used to have me hysterically laughing. Like she would say stuff like that. But anyway, let me tell you what I was saying to her dad. So my daughter was obsessed with Frozen. I mean, obsessed for about like a year and a half. And like her dad would like send messages about like how he feels and stuff. And so I was like, how about you just get like Elsa and just let it go? I'm telling you, who left us in charge? When I look back at that, I'm like, who left us in charge? It was a hot mess. No, for real. I'm happy. Like, so the last like 2 years, I would say everything's been like really like civil. Um, I think just we're also like, you know, older. The older you get, the more like age and wisdom, and you start handling things different. And I also think in the last like 3 years, I've really kind of learned who I am as a person. So it's like once you really kind of learn yourself, you navigate life and people differently. Oh, nah. We know that's Bree, right? We know that's Bree. Mm, mm, mm. Mm-mm-mm. These people be crazy. Nah, you saw what you saw. Uh, Man, Bree and her people just trolling. No, but you have to know, like, they intentionally come on here to try to offend. And but could you imagine coming on somebody's live? Did you guys see the light flicker, or that was just me? Um, Coming on someone's live to troll like that, and like, what did you think you were gonna get out of that? Aw, are you salty? How are people gonna get mad that I'm on my own live? Like, what is wrong with you? Okay, okay, you saw it flicker. I was like, is that just me? Like, just tripping, like, in my thoughts, like, thinking the light flickered and it, and it didn't. But it's raining outside, so that's probably why. Whoa, sorry, y'all. I gave y'all whiplash. Yeah, no, they're very, like, unhinged. And you know what? The thing about it that's so funny to me is I think a lot of people think that when they're like in my comment sections on TikTok or anything like that, like I'm upset. I don't. Like not very many things like really piss me off. Oh, thank you. And like I may get like slightly annoyed, but I keep it moving. Like I brush things off like very often. Um, Especially when I know, like, you know how people are. And that's why, you know what I thought was funny? Like, two people, and y'all probably, I think I left a comment where someone was like, oh, I was like really disappointed that you were calling Ken out on the live. Okay. And you felt like you needed to tell me because, so he could get up on there and call me all sorts of things, and I'm supposed to sit there and be like, oh, okay. No, I'm gonna talk my stuff. And if, oh well, he doesn't have to like it. Nobody, it's like just not that serious. Yes. And I just don't know what grown man gets on a live and he has a very, okay, you know what? This is what I've been meaning to talk about. And I think I'm going to make a video about this too. Thank you, where miracles fly. I appreciate it. Um, I think that if um he if leaves like Gypsy completely, like the whole situation, walks away, never like sees her, she's gonna say he was abusive. That he makes it so easy for her to paint that picture and people to believe it. That's how dense he is. He makes it so easy for her because it wouldn't sound like it's not believable. You know what I'm saying? I did not, that's not even Bree's phone number, and I didn't even know that I put the number on there, and it's a text now number, so hop off. First of all, why did the girl send me a text at 3 something in the morning? I think Ken knows the truth. I think he's just as evil as Gypsy is, though. In my personal opinion, I think that. Oh, okay. So some of you guys probably don't know what happened. So let me break this down. So I explain what happened. Uh, do you guys remember that video of Bree on live that I had uploaded for you guys to like watch the video? I owe who $20? I don't owe nobody $20. Get lost. You didn't have to block them, but it's yeah, that's fine. Talking about $20. I owe you $20. Man, these crazy people on here. Man, they be moving fast. Pam be like blah 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 blah. Pam says she don't play no games. Okay. Um. Wait, what was I saying before that? I think I got sidetracked. Damn. Oh, what happened with Bree? So there was a live that I uploaded or whatever. Now keep in mind, it was screen recorded with my phone for starters. Okay. Anyways, um, these people are so weird today. What is happening? So I screen recorded it, I uploaded it, and basically she did a copyright whatever on there. Uh, so when you file a copyright, basically they make it to where you have to like fill out your information, and the information that you fill out, it goes to the other party. And so basically they gave the my phone number. It's not like my actual cell phone number. This is a Google Voice number. And address, name, they hand that all over to these people, which honestly, I feel like with people that are like as unhinged as them, luckily it's none of it is actually like where I live, like none of that. So yeah, but y'all, no, it's not my actual, no. Y'all, listen, like it's an address that I can get what I need, but it's not my actual address or whatever. So, anyways, I'm happy that it was the Google Voice number that I put on there because Bree's ass texted me at 3 something in the morning. And I didn't see it until like 5 something because I get up around like 5:15, 5:30 to get my daughter to like get myself together before I get my kids up for school or whatever. And the message was like, you had to know that I was going to text you, and if you want me to take you to court single-handedly, da 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 da. You know me, I'm never pressed. I'm ready to go to court. If you want to take me to court, go ahead, Bookie. So I said, okay, get like Nike and do it, and get off my a phone. Just do it. But for starters, first of all, I have already filed police reports on her before, which I'm so happy I did it because I documented what happened. Like, everything's documented. And what I thought was so funny about it is when YouTube gives that person your stuff, they are not supposed to contact you. That is strictly for them to file a lawsuit. So that text is harassment. She's not very smart at all. That's harassment. Okay. I want her to take me to court because the first thing I'm going to have my attorney ask for is to hand over every single thing. I will have everything she has subpoenaed: phone records, TikTok, emails, all of that subpoenaed. Because I know whatever she's texted, emailed, messaged could put her in jail. Baby, I'm ready. I be trying to tell people I am not the one or the two. Let me tell you, when I asked her for a discovery, trust me, I will be very detailed in what I asked for. Baby, let's go. Let's go. Like, clock it. I'm waiting on it. Let's do this thing. Like, you can't think. I realize when people are not like their thought process doesn't like it doesn't it's not all the way there. They don't realize that your thought process, like the way I think, Bree will never be able to. She don't even know. Ever. It makes me laugh. Thank you, Camilla. I appreciate you, Geoff. Yeah, but this would be here in Texas. She would have to file where I live. And baby, that's not how that's gonna play. And the good old boys network is not gonna play with Bree. Okay. Bree would crash out in that courtroom. They'd be like, contempt of court, go get that girl. Could you First of all, could you imagine Bree standing in front of a judge just running her mouth? Like she sounds like Darkwing Duck to me. And she never makes sense. She talks so fast. She's scrambling. Like you just you don't never know like, girl, what are you talking about? She just she said so wait, I think one of my mods, thank you, Swifty, said to me that she said she was on the debate team in college and she could debate all day. The debate team. Thank you, Swifty. What were you debating with? Frogs? Turtles? Toddlers? Listen, if Bree has a high school diploma, then you know they just let anybody get one. Like, okay? The comment section is passing the vibe check because the fact that you all are in the comment section saying what I think in my head anyway is really cracking me up. Y'all are so funny because it's literally the thoughts that I've had. Y'all are cracking me up. Oh, thank you. Where's Miracles Fly? Thank you, Julie. You too. Man, listen, you know, listen, I can't even with Brie. Like, y'all don't even know. You know what's funny is like people will send me like text messages and emails or messages on TikTok and they're like, "Yeah, Bree is talking about you. I have don't come in here with no political stuff. Not today. Not today." Um Man, they just got me sidetracked. What was I saying? Oh, the people send me messages and stuff, and they'll be like, "Yeah, Bree was talking about you. I have it recorded," and I'm like, they always email it to me when they say it, so I save it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I never watch it because I don't care. I don't care what she's saying about me. It don't even matter. It's kind of like listening to a crackhead talk smack about you. Like, how relevant is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just my brain cells can't. Yeah, it's like I've heard it all before. Like she said that what did she say? I don't even remember. That girl be talking so much I don't even know what she says. First of all, anybody that could text you at 3 something in the morning, like girl, I don't want to be on your mind at 3 something in the morning, please. Like that's weird. That is so weird. Thank you, Vin. So Bree is Gypsy's, I guess, pawn. Um, because they're not really friends. Bree thinks she's friends, but Gypsy be doing what Gypsy does best is use people. Man, I'm sure she was on rugs. Yeah, she be talking in circles. Man, listen, you know what I think was the best lives that I have seen like clips of when she was the gingerbread man. I can't even hold you. Yes, it's a parasocial friendship. You're absolutely right. When she was the gingerbread man, I could not have. Listen, the fact that Ken thought that he could say anything to me when Cowboy Bear sat up on that panel and told him to shut up and he was silent, sir, have a seat. Have a seat. You are not even qualified to have this conversation. You want to act like Big Bad Wolf here, but when Cowboy told you to be quiet, you was like, yes, sir. Make it make sense. You know what? I actually kind of feel bad for Dreamer a little bit. I don't like the lady at all whatsoever. But I just feel like they be just ragging her out. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Oh, okay. So this is alleged. I don't know this 1000%. I'm going to tell you how I found out about Brie. Back last March when Gypsy messaged me, Brie, I don't know what's wrong with the focus on my camera. Okay, back last March when Gypsy messaged me, I didn't know about Brie at that time. I think Dreamer's a woman. I'm pretty sure she is a woman. And so Gypsy had messaged me and like she was kind of trying to like explain herself and stuff like that, but I felt like something was off, but I wasn't really sure. Anyway, Gypsy said like not to share the messages with anyone, but I could discuss them or whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever. But then she shared the Facebook messages with Bree, so I shared the messages too. Um, and then that's when I found out about Bree. I didn't know anything about her until then, and then Bree would just like get on these lives and start talking about me and then using my videos and then like trash talking me. She was trash talking to me about me from March till now. But I didn't say anything from March till May. Nothing. Not a, I would say nothing about her. She would talk so much smack, and I would just leave it alone. Finally, one day, it had to be maybe the beginning of June or the very end of May. So you're talking about almost 3 months. And two of my mods kept saying, like, when are you going to say something to this girl? And I was like, no, I'm not going to say anything. It's like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And she kept going, kept going. And then one day she was on a live and one of my mods were watching the live. And in the live, she showed her computer screen and the computer, like in the search engine, it said, what was it saying? Older woman that likes younger woman corn. Okay. And one of my mods sent it to me. And I was like, oh, this my time to shine. I said, this is my time to shine. So I made a video about it, but I kind of like blurred out one of the words so that, or like the letters, so like TikTok couldn't flag it and take it down or whatever. And no, like she was saying, I kind of think she was trying to do the huggy peggy with Christy. That's just my thoughts on it. I don't know if it was true because I heard she met Christy first, and I kind of feel like that's what that was about. I'm just saying, I don't know that for a fact. I don't have any proof of that. I can't say like that is it. I don't know. But just based off of the search, I feel like she was doing something with Christy. So I did a video about it. I was like, I told you not to play with me. But since you over here playing with me, what is this? Yo, that girl didn't say nothing for a whole day. And then while she tried to say that wasn't her search engine, she got it from Rent a Center. First of all, when Rent a Center gives you anything, or if like you buy a refurbished anything, uh, don't they have to clean it out? So I was just like, damn. And then like she kept like making things up, right? And I was like, dang, that's just so crazy that she has like all of that going on or whatever, right? And I guess I didn't expect that at all. She was so upset. She was so unhinged. She blamed me for it. She was like, how evil is she for trying to shame me for what I'm into? And then it went from that or to try to shame me if I was into something. Like the story just kept changing. Similar to the way her story is always changing currently, right? So, I'm just sitting back watching all this just laughing because I'm like, this girl, like, you play with people and then you get on the internet and do dumb stuff like this. And then you get upset when somebody calls you out. And I'm going to be honest with you. Think about some of the stuff that Brie has exposed on Gypsy. Most of the time, it was all by mistake. Most, listen, let me, it's actually quite laughable when you think about it. That's what bothers me about her is she does throw rocks and hide her hands because to this day she tells people all the time that I started with her. Anyone that knows me knows I don't ever care enough to make effort to even start with anybody. But if you come for me and I didn't send for you, oh, I'm going to get you and I'm going to get you real good. And I'm patient. Like, it may take me months to even address you, but when I do, you'll know I'm not playing with you. But she says I started with her. Like, girl, you've been talking about me since March and I said nothing about you. Nothing. And you still say it's me? She will literally gaslight everyone. And I am just not in it to try to convince people. Like, believe what you want to believe. If you believe that I started with her, then whatever. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, she's always the victim. But just like Gypsy, Gypsy's always the victim. That's why I was saying in my live yesterday, not live, my video yet, well, today, the fact that they were trying to villainize Pink Pony. Ooh, Natasha, preach. She said the skills that she has, she made herself into the victim. The writing is so slow, so small. If she only could put that energy into her marriage or herself, child, her husband tired of her. He got to be tired. Wait, Bree was making fun of somebody's teeth on Morbid's Live? Bree got the nerve to be talking about anybody? Mm, mm, mm. She has a lot of audacity. Man, there's somebody that Bree reminds me of that I can't think of. No, I'm telling you, when she showed a full body picture, I was just like, so this girl has spoken about my body, my looks, my everything, and you out here looking like this? I really, had to scratch my head. First of all, I will be honest with you. I paused probably for a good 15 minutes looking at that picture, confused. Just confused. Just confused. Like you have really trash talked me for months to show up somewhere looking like that? I was like, is this a joke? This is a really bad joke. Man, she doesn't she look like one of them people that would have been on Catfish? I was shocked. I was definitely shocked. Man, that button on her pants. Listen, anybody's relationship, if my man ain't holding on to me the way that button on them pants were holding on to her, I don't want him. Okay, I don't want him. Cause that thing was holding on tight. Like real tight. I honestly was really shocked. I really was shocked. I was like, dang, you've been talking smack about me? So you just want me to get on here and roast you. Because I'm not doing that when they go low, you go high. No. If you go low, I'm going to hell. Okay? Like, no. 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 Oh, them shoes was lean. The shoes looked like they was tired. She had more than a fupa. There was something else like underneath the I don't know. It was I don't know. There was something else there too. Like it was I don't know. I don't know at all. But I feel like all that energy that you put into trash talking people, put that same energy into working on yourself. I appreciate you, Miracles Fly. Not when y'all was asking if she was a surrogate, y'all did make me pause for a sec. No, it is, and that's why I say like the energy that she's putting into like being this toxic, it's just not the move. Natasha, you ain't even lying. In that picture, she just looked like she smelled like boiled hot dog water. 30 plus. But Fancy's talked about me too, so I didn't even understand why she was mad. I was like, this is weird. Y'all are acting weird. I didn't understand it. I was like, y'all have trash talked me before. Like, why? I don't understand. Like, why is it a problem? Yo, you be getting rid of these comments so fast. I didn't even have the chance to read it. You know what? I don't understand why she even wore what she wore at all. She could have put on like a dress or something. Now I could smell her photos. Y'all are funny. So somebody said that Ken had Invisalign, and that's why we was hearing like the list type of thing. Natasha, why you gotta call me out like that? Y'all are so funny. I mean, she did like I just don't get it. I don't the whole situation, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't get it. Yeah, her feet did look. But the shoes, like everything, I don't know, she just looked a mess. Not the Dead Sea. Y'all play too much on here, okay? Andrea, you might be right. I know, Carl Mack. I heard about the. Yeah, I feel like just listening to current, like, news or anything right now is just, it's almost becoming overwhelming. Does anyone on here watch Aaron Parnas? Parnas? One in Potomac, too? It's just, okay, so there's this Aaron Parnas. He's really good with like keeping you up to date with what's going on. Um, but hold on one second, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Yes. So he keeps you like up to date on what's going on and like in real time. So when it's happening, he's telling you about it as it's happening. He's a really good source. But I'm gonna be honest with you, my nerves have just been so bad, like trying to keep up with what's going on. Hey, Pink. I just feel like I see things and it's just like I try to like stay really positive like about cuz I always know that everything always works itself out and I know that sounds so what everyone keeps telling me to open up a Patreon. I know that it sounds very cliche that everything always works itself out, but it does, but right now it just seems so like dark, and gloomy. I'm gonna look into Patreon. I'm gonna put that on my to-do list for tomorrow. Yes, Jesse, that's what I was thinking of. The guy from Minions, but I couldn't remember. I could not remember where the guy was from. Like, I'm so happy you said that because it was really bothering me. I couldn't remember. I appreciate you guys. No, it's like the news just does make you. And I was never really a big news person. Like, I rather watch creators tell the news because I feel like um they aren't so biased and they aren't. I feel like the news misleads us so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, There's so many times that I think I mean, think about this whole gypsy situation. Like, I think that is a prime example. It does. It makes it do, here's the thing with everything is that you want to be aware, right? You don't want to bury your head in the sand and act like nothing's happening, but then you also are mentally trying to make sure that you keep your head together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't want to be unaware. You want to be aware of what's going on. But I don't know, it just feels so weird cuz you don't want to feel like doom and gloom. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, since around like mid-September, like I've had like really strange feelings. I don't know how to explain it to you. I just felt like, how do I explain it to where it makes sense? It seemed like the closer, like each day that was coming, like that came, it would get more and more intense to where I would kind of almost, I don't want to say doomsday because not quite, but I still feel like something is happening, but it hasn't, I don't know. I just don't, everything just seems chaotic. I don't know how to explain it to you. I wish I knew how to explain it. Natasha, child, if it wasn't for me taking my kids to school and stuff and having my daughters in all these like sports and stuff like that, like I probably wouldn't either. My intuition was picking up on things since September. Like it was just a weird feeling. And at first I was like, no, I'm just tripping. I'm overthinking things. And every time I try to talk myself out of what's going on in my head, I always prove why I should stick with my intuition. Does that make sense? Yeah, my kids keep me really busy. I appreciate that, Miracle. Yeah, like my mom as a kid, I'm talking about like a six 6 year old. My mom used to call me her little psychic. And because weird stuff used to happen when I was younger, like really strange things. Like I'll give you an example. When I was my grandmother on my dad's side passed away when I was about like 10 or 11. And I remember the night before she passed, I had a dream that she was sitting in this room and it kind of looked like a spiritual type of room. And when I say spiritual, like candles and like pictures and like I don't know how I like to describe, like it was like burgundy brownish, like it like warm-ish feeling. And she was sitting at a table and it was a round table, but it was only a half of a circle. And yes, Natasha. And there was 9 candles spread around that whole half round of the table. And my grandma was blowing each one out very slowly. And she blew the last one out and I woke up. And I went to my mom's room and I told her, I said, Mom, I had a dream. Grandma was sitting at this table. It was 9 candles, and she was blowing them out very slowly. And when the last candle blew out, I just remember waking up, right? Now, this was like 3, 4 something in the morning. That next morning by 10 o'clock, my grandma passed. Like, craziest thing ever. And then as a kid, there was a lot of times I would go somewhere and I would see something happen, and it was like a deja vu, like I had seen it. And I would see it in my dreams. And then it would happen in real life. It was so weird. So as a kid, it was weird. M- It was very weird because of the fact that for you to see something and feel like I've seen this before and not know how you seen it was just like such a very odd. It was so weird. I know that they broke up, but I don't know what they're doing now. I don't have an update on that. Yes, like I'll get it's so weird. And even like now as an adult, uh I can call things way before they happen. Like my friends will literally call me and be like, "Girl, what do you think for this? Like what do you think is like going to happen?" Um and 9 times out of 10 like I can call it. I don't know how. Like I'm not a psychic or anything. I don't know like but I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it's like really it is hard to explain because it's unique. Do I think Gypsy did a love spell or a blind spell on Ken? You know what? I could see that. Oh, I think Taurus and Scorpio. See, the thing about Taurus and Scorpios, why I think they get along so well, is because that we're both like very honest, and like once we say something, we mean what we say. We say what we mean. Like it's not like extra fluff. I think sometimes it's perceived as being rude, but we're just direct because we just don't have time to BS you. Like we don't have the desire to like blow smoke, you know? Cancers are really cool people. The only thing about cancers is they complain and fuss about everything. But if a Scorpio said they're gonna do something, they're gonna do exactly what they say they're gonna do. But Scorpios are also not ones you really want to play with because they're the type that will pop 3 of your tires, and they'll make sure they won't do all 4 because the insurance won't cover. Scorpios are not ones to play with. Scorpios are not the ones to play with. Like they are not. And Taurus will just tell you. I feel like tourists don't really have a filter. We just kind of tell you what it is. And it's just kind of like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I was just being honest. Leos are really, really cool. And you know what's funny about Leos is that once you really understand a Leo, you overlook a lot of stuff. You know, I think I do find that's odd that his mom knew that, but I also think it's really odd that she kept saying the reason why she didn't want to read that book or Gypsy's book is because it was so, yes, Libras are all about everything being balanced. But I think the fact that she said she didn't want to read the book because she felt like it was explicit. What? But she wrote it to your grandbaby. I don't know if I think she read it. I think she is trying to avoid it. Yeah, Scorpios are not the ones to play with. Yes, willfully ignorant. I do think she's, because you know what? I used to think she was like nice, like back when I months ago. But I realized she, you know what? God forgive me because I don't like talking about nobody's mama. But she is just as bad as Ken is, and she's just as bad as Gypsy is. And I'll tell you why. If your son could get on this internet and be as disrespectful as he was, and you come up on a live the next day and co-sign that, your son ain't shit because you raised him to not be shit. Okay? Like you, I would never, and my son's only 4, but I would never let my son get on anybody's internet and do that. And if he's like that and his mom came up there to defend that, imagine what he's like when him and Gypsy get into it or him and anybody else gets into it. I think he's violent. I think Gypsy's violent. He's violent. And I mean, they're both jumper cables. They ready to start. I think that's explosive, to be honest with you. And I'm telling you, whenever Lifetime and this stuff is totally done, watch her say that he was abusive. And it would sound believable. It would definitely sound believable. Yeah, like it's weird because you know what? Who would want to be in a toxic relationship like that? Who? I I just couldn't. Look, if there's even a baby, to be honest with you, I can't even tell you like that. I know. You know what, Lavonda? You're right. Can we be okay with Gypsy and her lies? His mom sounds like a pathological liar as well. He grew up in that environment. That actually makes sense. Yep, misery always loves company. Y'all, I know I just don't know if I think that there is a kid. I gotta be honest with you. I really, I don't know. Oh, Curly. I don't know. I really don't. I don't have an answer one way or another. Um, Something just seems off. Why do I think Christy was so invested in Gypsy, or Christy was invested into Gypsy? Hey, Stacy. Oh, she definitely framed Nick. I think Christy was invested into. Hey, Sabrina. I think she. If you're talking about the situation, I think mainly just for the money. To be honest with you. Exactly, Brandy. History always repeats itself. Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. Christy knew she couldn't control Gypsy's finances if she was with Ryan. It all boils down to that. She knew without a shadow of a doubt she was not going to be able to control her or control that money if she was with Ryan. Now, if she's with Ken, she can. Ken ain't got no job. Ken ain't like Ken will say all day he has a job. Sir, you know if you got a job, you actually have to go to work. Like you can't say you have a job but you don't go to work. Like it don't work like that. No, he didn't buy a house with what money? No, we know Ken ain't got no job. Ken is like Tommy from Murray. He ain't got no job. Diaper changer. You said I want to see the W-2s. Listen, y'all. I need a W-2 for every time I actually was checking out my own stuff. All right, Kroger need to give me a W-2. Target need to give me a W-2. I don't 7-Eleven. Elizabeth, that's something my mom would say. First of all, the fact that Ken was sitting on that bed like he was at a slumber party, waiting to get his nails painted. I'm sorry. Every time I saw that part, I was just like, I can't take this serious. And this the dude that's trying to talk crazy to me on that live. Like, dude, take that bass out your voice. He listen. If you have a man and he's sitting like that on your bed, tell him he needs to leave and just put him on the block list and be done with it. I do think he's probably bi with more of a male preference, to be honest. No, Ken definitely gives violent. And I also think what is interesting about him is that he had said that he was drinking, but he was also driving. Like, what is happening? I think he's an alcoholic. Like, I think he's an alcoholic. Listen, Ken ain't got no money. Not him sitting on the bed remind you of hot chick. You know what, Ivy Rose? You're right. That is he fits in with the family because of that. But you know what? If you were around the Blanchards, you would need to drink too. Am I lying? Am I lying? You would have to. How could you be around the Blanchards completely sober? You can't. There's no way. First, right, just to listen to Gypsy's voice. I just, mm-mm. Two nuggets short of a Happy Meal, girl. They missing the entire fries out that Happy Meal, okay? The whole fries just missing in action. You know what? I don't you think they would be testing her for alcohol on parole? Well, it seemed like parole don't give a damn anyway. You know what? I was sort of disappointed in Raina, but then I thought about it. As disrespectful as Ken is, she's always been like that. And you know what I also think too is the fact that she kept saying in that live with Morbid that she's a very like laid back, live and let, like she kind of like goes with the flow kind of thing. And I feel like she emphasized that so much. And that only thing that to me just shows that she never held him accountable. And obviously she doesn't because she doesn't hold Gypsy accountable to unaliving her mom either. Yeah, I think she's just as bad as the both of them. And she's probably just as bad as Christy. Listen, Brandy, Gypsy definitely pulled a Diddy and trapped him. But history always repeats itself. Like, I have never seen history not repeat itself. You know, her dad looked like he'd be drinking a lot. But if you was married to Christy, wouldn't you be drinking too? So I can't even get mad at the player, okay? Like, I mean, look, I would probably have alcohol dementia if I was with Christy. Okay. Nah, I don't think she has one reliable family member. Maybe Mia. I just can't. I don't think they're tolerable. Like it, to me, it would be too much to tolerate them. Man, Christy look, and I just want to know how does she always have that one ear that's sticking out of her hair? Yes. Okay. NY11. You know what? Yes. So when she was in therapy and she said, I don't want him to be here um, because of the baby. I want him to be here because that tells you right there, they been having issues. I don't I don't even know how anyone could keep saying, no, they're happy, they've been together. If that didn't tell you, if you're pregnant, getting ready to have someone's baby, why would that be the constant topic of discussion? Obviously, he told you he didn't want to be there. Like, oh, the brother wants nothing to do with the situation. I heard that there was like stuff in a contract that he does not want to be filmed at all whatsoever. No, anybody that thinks a baby would make a man stay is delusional. And look, if he don't wear a diaper, you can't change him. So there's that. Hey, Mika. Oh yeah, the other shoe's definitely gonna drop. I just don't know how people could think that everything's okay with them. Like that, the fact that that was something that she said in the Viles files, and then yep, and they are lawyered up, and then in therapy, and that is something that no, I don't think they bought a house, and that is just something that has been repeated. Thank you. Yes, I do think I do think she did that too. Because I don't think, here's the thing. You notice when he even spoke about the pregnancy, he was like, I wish she would have waited. Um, it was kind of like he puts the responsibility on her, which lets you know that having a kid was not a discussion that they had. He knows she trapped him. You know why? Remember Steve Wood. Remember Steve Wood said, thank you, Glassbox. Remember he said, Ken is scared shitless. And Gypsy trapped you the same way Diddy trapped Rod. And when he spoke about he wanted his trinklets that Ken still had of his. There was too much stuff in that message that lets you know that I think he really does exist. I really truly, too much was said in that. Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing that kind of convinced me that Steve Wood was a real person. Do you guys remember the first Vile Files where Ryan and Gypsy were speaking about Ken, like trying to come back into the picture? And she was basically saying Ken was holding her belongings hostage. Steve Wood said the same thing about his belongings. It seems on brand. I actually posted my skin care routine in my like 3 videos ago. Yes. So when you think about it, it seemed very on brand. You know what I'm saying? So that's funny, Miracles, that you say that. My mom always says that you really pay attention to the details that people don't normally pay attention to. And I feel like there's things like that that kind of connect it. If it wasn't for that part right there and him saying she trapped him and he's scared, the same way Diddy trapped Rod, those were the things that were like, there got to be some truth to this. This person knows the situation. Because think about it, even if somebody was made a fake page, which I know that page wasn't fake because that page had been there for a long time. But even if someone had made a fake page, do you think that person would have thought to themselves, oh, yeah, Gypsy said Ken was holding her stuff hostage, so let me say that too? No, that's not something you think of. It's something that you see it and you're like, oh, I've heard this before. Oh, I knew for sure she was going to leave because the thing is, Gypsy, it's on brand for her. She uses everybody, and everybody that comes in to play, she uses them. Just like she's going to end up saying that Ken is abusive as hell, and people are going to believe it because he's been irate. He's been angry. He's been rude. It would be on brand. It wouldn't sound far fetched. So if she said, "Oh, Ken beat my ass," we're not gonna be like, "Oh, I'm surprised." It'd be like, "Yeah, I could see that," and it may not be true, but the way he's acted, it doesn't sound far fetched. I think that Ken gets like pent up and angry like that because he really wants to be with a guy and he's stuck with her and a kid. And like he doesn't want to look like a deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even though they're not together, he has to kind of like be there. He has to deal with her. I would not want to have to deal with someone on that magnitude because I'm going to be honest with you, when I'm done with someone, I just want to be done. And to know that I have to be stuck dealing with you, that would piss me off to no end. I do believe Ken is a beater. I definitely, that's why I say, like, if Gypsy was to say today, she came out and was like, Ken used to beat my ass, you'd be like, I could see that. I could see that. It's on brand for him. Oh yeah, stiletto. He's definitely gonna pull it. You know what's so funny? Remember, Rod stayed away around for like the first year or something. But anybody that Ryan or Ken is with, I feel bad for them because I feel like Gypsy will try to get. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with either one of them. Because I would just be like, I would not want to deal with this crazy chick. Oh, I definitely think he's verbally, emotionally abusive. I do think he's physically too. Maybe not currently, but I think it could become. No, with his temper and a baby, that is like explosive to me. Man, could you imagine having to deal with Gypsy as a baby mama? Throw the whole damn baby mama away. Okay? Just throw away. Get rid of her. There's not enough Tylenol to deal with Gypsy. Miracle, I honestly would say I feel bad for any kid that would have to deal with her. Man, there's no way King could think he's hot. He has maybe 20 pieces of hair on his totally on his head. First of all, why does Ken look like he's his dad's dad? His dad look younger than Ken. Ken look like he that baby great grandfather. I don't know what he uses. No, he's aged like I've never seen anyone age that bad so fast. Mighty mulatto, but I wouldn't want to deal with that. Thank you. I would not want to. I just wouldn't want any strings attached to someone like her. Where you, I think for me, what it is that I don't like being stuck dealing with someone that I don't want to deal with. Does that make sense? Like when I'm done with a situation that I feel like is no longer good for me, my mental health, or anything like that. Thank you, Miracle. And she's talking about all of you guys too. I don't like feeling trapped in anything. And I feel like that would feel stifling to me. Because it just seems toxic. It seems like a hamster wheel that never ends. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like stuff like that. I was I had a boyfriend when I was like 22 that cheated on me. We were living together. I let him go to work. I packed up all my designer bags, my shoes, and my jewelry, and my makeup, and I left everything else. Changed my phone number. He never heard or saw me again. You know what though? A couple of months ago, he was in my inbox on TikTok when I went viral. I blocked him. When I tell you, if I just don't like, once I realize that you are toxic, I'm done. Like you, when I say my name is Bennett, I ain't in it. I just do it. I can't because I feel like so many times you're stuck in situations with it just I can't do toxicity. Like I can't. Because I feel like a lot of times people are stuck in situations that are so toxic for so long just because they're like scared to leave or that they're comfortable with that person. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like you kind of lose your value that you kind of accept it, right? Like because you are essentially teaching people how to treat you, right? And so if you let people treat you whatever way and you let it go, they feel like it's okay. Like if she let me do it before, why can't I do it again? So I just mm-mm, I can't. I don't have the patience level to deal with like mm-mm. So I couldn't see myself having a long term deal with Gypsy and a kid. Look, I might have faked my own death. If it to Gypsy, yeah, I think that one. I'm gonna have to somebody put a obituary up or something because I just can't. Like I just cannot. Just take me to the king, please. Like, could you imagine? Uh-uh. Mm. Dealing with Gypsy, and then he has the audacity to say that somebody is dumb? Like, sir, you had a whole baby with a murderer. Help me understand your rationale. Like, you actually wrote a woman in prison and was like, hey, how are you? And you have the audacity to call anyone dumb? Like, make it make sense. Like, that's wild. Could you imagine being that out of touch? Like, literally, imagine being that out of touch. Not only did you do that, you literally got with a married woman at the time. So low key, you're a hoe, but somebody else is dumb. That's wild. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Like seriously saying that to so like as he was screaming that in my mind, I was like, how do I even take you serious? Like how can I take any of this serious? He said it was because of Dr. Phil or like the public, but honestly, I think it was for a man. Exactly. If they will cheat with you, they will definitely cheat on you. But I'm going to be honest with you. And maybe you guys will have the answer because I don't know if I have the answer for this one. Do you think that Gypsy will successfully get with another guy? I don't know if really. I don't see it. I don't see it being functional. You know what, Mighty Mulatto, I agree with you. Not if there's no money in it. But if there's no money in it, even if there's money in it, how much can you take even with money? Let me- Look, if that was me, I'm going to be very honest with y'all. Every day I would be ready to quit, even with the money involved. Like, Gypsy would say the wrong thing, and I would just be like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. I can't do it. That would be me every day. Mm. I would just not. I think every single day I'd be like, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Not gonna be able to do it. I would think to myself, okay, but nah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. He has to. Could you imagine trying to defend Gypsy? That's like trying to defend Diddy. How? Could you like that's the thing that must really get under Ken's skin is that he was there for the money and got trapped with a kid that's gonna cost him money. Ain't that some shit? Oh man. Like 1 plus 1 is 2, and then minus 2, 0. Like that kid is gonna cost you more than any amount of money that you got from this. Um, I think that even if they're trying to prove me wrong, it's gonna all play itself out. Hey, I think karma is we're seeing karma play out right now. I think we physically aren't seeing it as much as I would say the public would want to see it. But I think there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes because she's not one thing about Gypsy is you could tell she's not happy, right? Um and I think it's a lot of it has to do because the world doesn't see her as what she wanted the world to see her as. And you notice the last couple of weeks, they've been coming really hard for creators, both Bree, Gypsy, Ken, his mama, all of them. And like, think about the fact that when Raina was on Morbid's live, Bree was on her live with a bunch of people too, right? Like, it's like they've been playing ping pong, right? And I feel as though they were trying to set something up. And even when she did that, Bree did that live and Gypsy got on the live, the whole purpose of that live was to villainize me. And I think she was hoping it would change people's minds about me. Because remember, she kept saying that if it wasn't for Nina, she took the opportunity for you to have a chance, right? Like I was the problem, not the fact that she unalived her mom, not the fact that she manipulated someone with special needs, not the fact that she did all these things. No, it's Nina, right? So that whole life was to villainize me. And I think she was hoping to change the perception, right? Which is why Bree did all that crying. You know, Brie was like, "Oh, she treats her subscribers so bad, and I just feel so bad for them. And she's just awful. Do you see how she treats them and how horrible she is to her subscribers? It is just so." I really had to sit there and scratch my head because I was like, "Damn, I have boundaries, yeah, right." But like that was so crazy to me. Like that whole and I don't know about you guys, but do you guys feel like that live was like staged? I feel like that whole live was staged. Like your mama, Josh? Like as if they had like the questions written out, yes. And like you noticed where she was like, "Oh, and I have one last question." Like she was like looking for the paper that she wrote the question on. And it's like they went through the questions and what Gypsy would respond. Like it just seemed very it just seems and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't think y'all were right about the hacker until after everything kind of played itself out. I'm like, yeah, I think she did have something to do with the hacker. I agree with you, Miracles. Like I'm a very like laid back person, but who would know like she's I don't know. No, the hacker thing, it didn't flow, and there was too many. Yes, it was all distracting. Okay, you're funny. Yeah, it was just it. And that's why when Raina went on that live, Ken was on the live the day before, Bree was on live, and then Bree did the live like a week or two before with Gypsy. I just feel like that they were throwing monkey bars up. Like it was too much. Miracles, I get it. I get it. I feel like the hacker thing was just it was too many things happening. Yes. Gypsy is the biggest troll on the internet. You ain't never lied. Listen, Rachel, who knows? Who knows if there's even a baby? And y'all, you guys know that she put up that post saying, and yes, I do have a baby. I don't know why, whatever she said about, girl, you faked being handicapped for 23 years. Why would you think it's a stretch for you to say you had a kid and you didn't? Don't gaslight us. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's gaslighting us. Literally. Oh no. Okay, wrong one. No, unhunt. Okay, sorry. Ida, or whatever your name is. Why are you here? hmm Here's another troll. Yep. Well, they said that the paternity test was actually done at a clinic. That's what Ken's mom said. But hell, you know what the problem is? They're all liars. So it's hard to know. Girl, I just block people and keep it moving. It's this is the internet. People are gonna say whatever they want to say. Yes, Elizabeth, like that's the thing that's when they start coming really hard, that's what okay, for example, when announced that they broke up, the fact that Christy came on live and she was like, "No, they didn't break up. They're good. Everything's all good. They're still together, blah 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 blah." And then you notice how like she's when that comment somebody had written a comment saying if the oh because they were like we just need to figure out who the snake is, and then someone had wrote if it's not true why would you guys be looking for a snake, and she read it out loud and she was like if it's not true why would you guys be looking for the snake, and she did a long pause. That's what I was like, y'all should have known right then. Like the thing was she read the question out loud and it clicked to her that she told on herself. That's really what happened is she literally read the question out loud and was like, "Oh damn." I was like in my head all I could do was laugh. I was like, "Girl, just get off the internet. Just get off the damn internet." Yeah, we'll definitely do we'll probably do something maybe live. I think that's what we should probably do. Elizabeth, I do think the truth is really going to come out. I think a lot of people think it's not, but I do think the truth about her is going to come out. I don't remember Ken saying the baby is 3.5 months. Oh, I thought he said 4 weeks. I don't know, Brandy. Everybody keeps saying that I'm not showing up on the FYPs on YouTube. I mean, on TikTok or YouTube. It's so weird. I haven't seen anything about Melissa Moore lately. I think she's trying to stay kind of low key, and I do think she's trying to expose Gypsy. Man, the thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even if Nick speaks up, I don't all the way know if he really knows what happened. And I say that because I feel like Gypsy is such a good manipulator and a good gaslighter that I almost feel like she coerced him or manipulated him into thinking he did more than he did. Thank you. And I say that because think about how, even in the interrogation, how the interrogator kind of like coerced him. Yes, why were her knuckles bruised? Yes, that is a big question. And then when I watched it back and she asked about how many wounds, he was very adamant about it being four. And then she kind of like prompted him to say, it was like she was trick questioning him and he was unsure. Like he was kind of like, wait, what? Where he started second guessing himself because he thought that he was missing something. And I think he did not want Gypsy to get in trouble. So, whatever amount of wounds she had, he was like, oh, well, I need to count all of them. He's right. When he said, I stopped counting, before he even said that, when he spoke about the wounds, she was like, just four? He said, yeah, four. She's like, are you sure it was just four? When people, like, I could see how someone could be in front of an investigator and they could be leading to get an answer that they want to fit their agenda. And because he was trying to gauge things to make sure she didn't get in trouble, I think he didn't know how to gauge her. Like he couldn't read the room enough to realize that the interrogator was playing him. Shelly, that's another thing. Why would he not want to apologize to Dan? There's something to that we're not privy to, and I don't think we'll ever get the answers for that. Yes, he started adding the neck cut, like he started adding stuff that I don't think he actually did. And it's I just feel like you can't convince me that he did those because he was very adamant about four. Yeah, and someone had to help him because first of all, Didi wasn't a little chick. Imagine tussling with her because all of that couldn't happen when she was asleep. That first one, she felt it after that, right? Like somebody was tussling with her. He never really spoke about the fight, right? He said she said something, but he never really spoke about a struggle. Something just seems off. Yes, he had not they had 9 hours to come up with a story, but also you have to think about this. Remember when he first sat down with the interrogator? He was saying she got kicked out. He was saying like she was roaming the streets. He was saying like this whole story to ensure that she was never actually in the house. Does that make sense? Like he didn't actually place her in the house initially. Even when they were asking, so where were you waiting for her? What happened? Like he was not placing her in the house until she was like, Gypsy told us everything. And really, because he wasn't able to read the room, he wasn't able to realize Gypsy probably didn't say everything, but he believed because that was the cops and she's saying Gypsy told us everything, she had to have. How long did it take for someone to find Didi? I think it was like 4 days. But the house temperature was very cold. She turned the temperature down in the house very, very low. Think about it, even something like that is very calculated. And what I don't really understand is the fact that she stole the unaliving weapon. She got gloves. She did, like, I don't understand how she didn't. I don't get the justice system. Honey, I don't think Nick's dad probably has told him about it just because he probably doesn't want him to be worry about things that are going on out here. Allegedly, it was 3 knives that were stolen. Three. That's another reason why I think there's a third person. There was initially 3 knives. I don't know if I think she was actually like dead when he got there, but I do think almost because he didn't have to tussle. I think that to me, that's the biggest thing. He never had to tussle with her. That's a red flag to me. Wow, the same DA and he's still in office. Now that's insanity. Just the fact that he did not, I don't know if I think someone in Gypsy did something before he got there. And if I had to guess and I could only come up with one guess, that would be the guess. Because why was there no fight back? No tussling? No tussling? Like she didn't try to grab the knife? Nothing? Something just seems off to me about that. People are going to say she is a victim of her mom, but if you really use common sense, nothing adds up. Why did she not speak about the abuse in the interrogation? She was 23 years old. She could have just got up and walked. All right, put it this way. If that was your mom and you're saying she was abusing you and you didn't know you could walk, which obviously you could because if that's muscle, right? If you don't use it, you lose it, right? But if she's telling you sit down in this chair, do what I tell you to do, you be like, say one more word, I'm finna get up. One more word, I'm gonna get up. So Because if you got up, it would blow the whole cover, right? Nah, I don't think she told the truth to Bree, and I also don't think Bree is smart enough to even grasp it. And let me tell you something: if Gypsy tells Bree the sky is pink, Bree is going to tell everybody the sky is pink. Like, that's another thing. Why wouldn't she expose her mom to like the companies and all that? Like, there's just too many things that leave. There was too many ways for her to leave for someone to say that she's a victim of her mom. And I think the biggest misconception um is that I think the biggest misconception is just the fact that a lot of people don't know that Gypsy was 23 at the time that her mom was unalived. And also, why did she put the Barney doll by her mom's head? There's too many things that if you have a half of a brain, there's going to be questions that you're going to have. I just don't see how someone can't have those questions. Like, there's too many things that just doesn't make sense. Everyone thinks she was a child. Yeah, because so I was telling one of my friends about it, um, and I was like, yeah, she was 23 at the time. She was like, 23? Are you sure she was 23? She wasn't. I thought she was like 16, 15. I was like, no, she was 23 at the time. A lot of people have no idea. I do think she was in that room as well. No, they did not do anything. Like, the forensics had already said that her area had never, it hadn't been touched. So that is not something that happened at all. Hey, Holly. Royal mashed potatoes. That's so funny. I absolutely do think she is capable of that again. Um, do I think she'll do it? I think it's a 50-50 chance. But if she doesn't get caught on charges like that, I think it'll be some type of like financial, like white collar crime, like some type of like financial fraud or um, money laundering or embezzling or something along those lines. Oh, I definitely think that. Oh, sorry. I don't think it'll be shoplifting. I think it'll be something much worse than that, like financial fraud or embezzling or something. I think it'll be something with taxes. Like it's gonna be some type of like fraud. I don't know if she will unalive, but I do definitely think fraud. Ooh, I hope she wouldn't leave. I just feel like you can't trust her with a kid. No, she's not going to walk the straight and narrow because she's. Here's the thing. Every time Bree, Christy, all of them cover for her, is the more and more she feels emboldened to do things and get away with it. If you could unalive your mom, serve 8 years, and get out of prison, she's going to feel like she could do a lot of things. So I think we will see something. I don't know what. Now she gonna fix fair hair. Mighty mulatto. Anybody that would trust Gypsy with a scissors, bleach, hell, a tweezer. Mm-mm. Could you imagine getting your hair cut by Gypsy? As soon as you see the scissor lift, I would take off. I'd be out the door. I, a curling iron? No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Those are all weapons. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Get somebody else to do it. But I do think she'll do something. I just don't know if I think it'll be violent. I do think it'll be some sort of financial crime, though. No, I mean, a felon could go to cosmetology school. It's a trade. Um, I just don't know what salon would want Gypsy Rose Blanchard working there. Brandy, that is a good question. It is it is very confusing as to why someone doesn't feel like there was any other option other than her doing that to her mom. Like it, with anyone or something, who would it be? And she was like, Jesus. Oh, sorry, y'all. I keep hitting the mute button by mistake. I'm sorry. Do you remember that time? I remember that time where they said if you could speak to anyone or have dinner with anyone or something like that, who would it be? And she was like, Jesus? I was like, did she really just say that? Is this a joke? I really was like, read the room, girl. Read the room. I hope she doesn't. If there is a baby, I hope she doesn't harm it. That would be the one thing I really hope that that wouldn't happen. Now she prays to Kim Kardashian. That is hilarious. Listen, I don't think Gypsy, even if she prayed for forgiveness, Gypsy's not going to change. She doesn't want to change. She doesn't think anything's wrong with what she does. Not they'd call her Slay at the salon. You know what, Skylar? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the only reason why they haven't charged her with anything like that is because Missouri just doesn't want to deal with her. They do not want to deal with her. Like, think about even these parole violations. Gypsy should have went back to prison. They don't want to. I feel like the day that they let her out, they were kind of like, we don't care what this girl does. Unless she unalives somebody, we not finna pick her up. Girl, listen, anything that Gypsy would be associated with, as far as cosmetology, I feel like it's a weapon. The curling iron, the flat iron, the scissor, the comb, razor. She sounds like a really dangerous hairstylist. Like, I can't see someone getting a haircut and she lifts a scissor and not get anxiety. Like, I would get anxiety if she was cutting my hair. Like, I would immediately see that knife, that scissor lift, and I would, nah, I would not be able to. I would be stressed out as soon as I saw that scissor in her hand. You know what though? I remember one time my friend was getting her hair done, and there was this guy that was cutting her hair, and he was using a razor and he cut her ear. By mistake, and he still charged her. Not killer cuts. Oh, that's another thing. You're right. She couldn't even turn on that curling iron from the jail. She didn't. Her hair wasn't even curled. Good night. Nah, she can't curl her own hair. Like, in order for you to start cosmetology, I think it has to be something that you're already passionate about. What do I do besides be a mama? Um, that's a good question. Sleep. Yeah. I don't think anybody loves sleep more than I do. Even though I don't feel like I get enough, I get a lot of sleep on Saturday and Sundays though. Me too. I actually ended up getting my cosmetology license as soon as I right before I graduated high school cuz we went to a co-op program like half the day. Um and this was in New York. I don't know if every state does that though. I just love sleep. I don't I've always been like that. I think that's a tourist thing. Yeah, no, when I started college, I had already had my cosmetology license. In fact, I was actually doing hair. I did it out of my dorm for like the first year, and then after the first year, I was working in a salon while I was in college. Man, listen, her parole officer don't give a damn about what's going on. When I so I went to college in Atlanta, and then I got married. We ended up getting divorced. Then I ended up getting an apartment or whatever. And I kind of just realized that I wanted to start over somewhere new. Like just somewhere I never felt like Atlanta was home. And I knew I didn't want to go back to New York because at that time I already started like living a pretty comfortable life. And I knew that I wouldn't be able to afford that same lifestyle in New York. So I didn't want to go back to New York. Um, so I was just like, and my friend lived out in Texas, and he was like, "Why don't you just come out here and oh, congratulations, Rachel, you got this." Um, so I was like, "All right, let me come out there," and I actually ended up really liking Texas. Wait, Anarchy's in here? Hey, Anarchy. Yeah, PO. That PO stands for paid off. That's hilarious. Hey. Honestly, Jesse, I would not be surprised about that. Good night. Girl, growing up in New York, I didn't want to move anywhere else that was cold either. So it's funny when we get snow like maybe 2 or 3, well, we normally get snow maybe twice in the winter here, and then it's like gone the next day or 2 days later. Oh, it means F around and find out. Thanks for watching from Scotland. Uh, I don't know if it tells you that on Google because there was like another abbreviation that I had seen on TikTok that I was like trying to figure out for like 2 days what it meant. And every time I looked it up, it wouldn't show up. And finally it did show up. But I had to use context clues to actually get it. It was so funny because I was like, ah, how did I not figure that out? Yeah, that's funny. You know what? I almost went to Cali. If I did not come to Texas, I wanted to go to San Diego. He's gonna laugh. Your son's gonna laugh. You know what? So I live in North Dallas, and what I will say is that it's very like late. I feel like now Fort Worth is like Texas, Texas to me. Like that's country Texas. Like cowboy boots, like I feel like that's like Texas, Texas. But like North Dallas to me is like a cross between East Coast and West Coast vibes. Like right in the middle. Yeah, San Diego's really expensive, but I like the San Diego vibe or like how laid back people in San Diego are. You know what though, with Fort Worth is that if you live in North Dallas and you go to Fort Worth, it's almost like you went to another state because it's so different. Where in Texas? I'm sure there is some wild stories. Oh my goodness. So you guys just had that really bad snowstorm. Like, what was that, last week? Yeah, I love San Diego. Like I just the whole vibe about it is really nice. You know what? Houston reminds me too much of Atlanta, and that's the only reason why I didn't go to Houston. I feel like Houston is like really cool to like go party or like go, hang out with your friends for the weekend, but I just felt like it was like it reminded me too much of Atlanta. So I live like way north Dallas, like Frisco-ish area. So now the food in Houston, you ain't never lied. But I feel like that about Atlanta. Atlanta's food is really good. Houston's food is really good. Uh, where else has really good food? New York, of course, but Houston has good food. Houston has some really good food. I will give you that. Is the food expensive? No. You know what? After living in Atlanta and going to college in Atlanta, I would not want to live in Atlanta. Um it's not the Atlanta that I knew when I started college is very different from the Atlanta now. Like when I first moved to Atlanta to go to college, it was like very low key. A year after I moved to Atlanta, that's when a lot of music started coming out of Atlanta and things totally changed. It became very industry. So the crime, anytime it's like it becomes very industry, then drugs, brothels, all of that stuff starts to come, and then the crime rate goes up, and then there's like car theft, and it's just a lot when stuff becomes very industry. I'm not nervous at all. So it just does. It becomes oh cool, man. I used to love Babyface. Yeah, and you know what's funny? Like last year, my friend called me that lives in Atlanta that I went to college with. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, girl, you'll never believe what happened to me." She was like, I was at the gas station. I went to go pump my gas, and she was like, someone got to my passenger side and stole my purse and ran off, right? So she couldn't start her car because the key was in her purse. And so she had closed the doors and went home to go get the spare key. She came back, the car was gone. I was like, girl, that's just too much going on. So you know what, Miracles? I know Diddy's not a nice guy. So growing up in New York, him and Mike Epps are the two biggest assholes I've ever met. No, her car was never found. See, the thing in Atlanta is like if your car goes missing, shortly after it goes missing, it's at the chop shop and somebody sold it for money, and they're using the parts. Like it's that ruthless. Alpharetta's actually really, when I was living in Atlanta, Alpharetta was really nice. So I actually was living in Buckhead right before I moved from Atlanta. I lived close to Phipps Plaza. The problem is it's changed a lot. It's not like what it used to be. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off here because I still have to take my kids to school in the morning and I need to take a shower. Yeah, Jordan, I can do that for you. I actually have a video that my friend's been asking me to do a look. I'm probably gonna record that video and edit it and post it. And I'll do the lashes on there too. But you guys have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. Night night, y'all. I'll try to come back to what is tomorrow. I may be able to come back tomorrow. But I'll see you guys. Bye.